In this video, we are showing how to set up Eurotherm Data Reviewer Software to communicate with the Eurotherm 6100 series data logger. For this video, we are using Eurotherm Data Reviewer version 5.1.0. The install files can be downloaded directly from Eurotherm's website. The first step is to make sure the recorder is configured to communicate with Reviewer. There are a few settings to check which will require engineer-level access to the recorder. From the operator menu, go to Config, Instrument, and check the instrument name. This is the name that the recorder will show up with inside Data Reviewer. Also check Config, Groups, and make sure the group descriptors are easy to identify. Then go to Config, Channel, and look at channel descriptors to make sure these are also easy to identify. Next, go to Security, Access. Under the engineer-level access, make sure Connect from Remote is checked, and then set and document a remote username and password. These are the credentials Data Reviewer will use to access the recorder. Lastly, go to Network, Address, and verify the device IP address, subnet, and gateway all match your network. SFTP should be disabled. Once all of these settings are confirmed, log out of the engineer access level. After installing the Data Reviewer software and launching the local website, the first page is for software registration. In this case, we are activating the Foundation Edition of Reviewer, which is the free version. In order to activate, select the Registration tab and fill in your name, company name, and email address, and then click the Save button. Next, go to the Activate tab. A license code will be pre-filled here for the Foundation Edition. Click the Activate License button. Once activated, the next page will be to set the login password. After setting and confirming a login password, you will be taken to the Reviewer main screen. From the main Reviewer screen, there are some default settings to go through. First, go to the Printer Management page. This will allow us to set which printers Reviewer will have access to. This page will list all of the printers installed on the host workstation. Check the box under Action to enable access to a given printer, and then click Save Printers. Next is Global Settings. From here, the main item to set is the date and time format. Then click Save General Settings. Last, we want to look at default settings. The first page is asking which chart type to use as default. We have these all set to linear. There are separate settings pages each for linear chart, circular chart, and spreadsheet views. Printing settings, we can set our default printer and paper size. In our case, we are using letter paper and printing to PDF. Print detail settings allows you to set a logo to be used on the header of a printed chart. Click the Browse button to navigate to a header image, and then click Save Image. Now we can add our recorder as a data source. From the main menu, click the Data Sources link and then click Add Data Source. First, set the instrument type to FTP. SFTP was disabled in the recorder settings. Fill in the IP address of the recorder, and then enter the login name and password that were set in the recorder remote login. Next, click Connect. This shows us that our source is a Eurotherm 6100A. Data Recorder is the name we gave it in the recorder configuration. On the Options tab, we recommend keeping Automatic Import enabled and then click the Save button. We have now added the data recorder as a data source. More data sources can be added if need be. After adding the data source, it can take some time for the data to flow in. We know there is data when the recorder shows up under the groups list. The default view is to show 1 month of data. We can change this in the filter settings. Check Retain Start Date, and then set a date for the start of your data flow. In the Batches tab is a list of all of the batches imported from your recorder. Clicking on a batch will bring up its chart view. We have the ability to set the time scale of the chart view or change from linear chart to spreadsheet view or circular chart view. Inside the circular chart view, we can change how much time is shown on the circular chart. In order to print the chart, just click the Print button at the bottom of the chart view. First thing we recommend is clicking the Preview button to see what the chart looks like. After seeing the chart, we can add a title to it or change any other settings. Once the chart looks ready to print, either download the PDF or click to print it. We also have control at the chart view to turn off individual pins if there is data that should not be shown, in this case for channels that are not connected. That covers the basics of how to set up a Eurotherm recorder to communicate with Data Reviewer, configure Data Reviewer, add a data source, and print a chart. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to our service team at service@llfurnace.com.